I'm doing pop culture, entertainment, things like that. And if you're following the channel, you know I've usually got articles, pictures, text, things like that. But I figured I'd try a video where I just kind of throw out some thoughts on these two here because I've had mixed feelings all along about covering them. I knew there should be some Meghan and Harry in the channel. It's just every time I cover these two, it feels like we're searching for something there of substance to like really talk about, or some event to really happen around them, something that's maybe a little more shocking than you thought might be, something real, something that would have some value to a conversation. But it seems like Harry and Meghan's entire existence is just always being this close to having something to talk about. I mean, they've done some distasteful things. I'm not into Meghan Markle's politics and how she parades around. And obviously, now Harry's book. I'm not really into how it seems like she basically controls him, how he turned on his family. And like, all right, maybe you understand that, maybe you don't. But I think all in all, if you're going to turn on your family, at least don't do it in public. We probably all agree that the publicness of it was one of the big problems. If you disagree with your family and you say, understand, yeah, okay, I kind of get Harry a little bit, or you don't like the royals or something like that, you got to at least admit that those family issues probably should stay behind closed doors, and it's distasteful to bring them out in the open. So, in the least, you should see the people criticizing. So, sometimes I like to just talk about the channel a little bit, numbers, things like that. And I can't say if something interesting happens, I'm never, ever going to cover Meghan and Harry. You know, news is news, but I think it might be best to like stay away like 95%. The book, I think, was the first worthy thing to talk about in a long time when you think about it. I probably missed some details. It's because I see articles every day, two or three a day, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Those publications, YouTubers, things like that, if people want to hear it, have the right to say that. I'm not necessarily saying it's bad. I'm just saying with all of that, there just hasn't been this core issue. I mean, their existence and what they're doing on the whole is a core issue of Harry splitting away from the royals, someone like Meghan Markle and the royal family, but it's like all so surface level. Nothing ever came to a close, or nothing ever actually goes on. Well, there was a legal case, little battle about some book. Now Harry releases a book. It's always about a podcast, Netflix, some book, some Disney role that Harry wants to get Meghan. It's always something they might do, they did and weren't so successful, and none of it means anything. They just make very bland, regurgitated political points, basically. Stuff you hear all over Hollywood that they don't need to say. So what am I trying to say here? I guess basically, I'd like to say I'd never ever make another video on them again, but I'd be lying, because if something did come up worthy, I would talk about it. But it's so tempting just to be like, no, no, never again. Anyway, figured I'd throw up this little ranty video. News is slow, but we'll be covering Manson and anything that does come up on Depp, and Heard, who's very suspiciously quiet, and I suspect as Aquaman 2 gets closer, we'll have a little bit more news there. I mean, we'll definitely have news. When the thing comes out, there's going to be, definitely some little debates online, let's just say. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. Usually you'll get articles, a video with a purpose and a point, like I'm saying these two kind of don't have, but I promise they're all out there. The proof's there. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.